Welcome to our Middle East briefing show, where today's news is packed with excitement and surprises. First up, former President Trump is shaking things up with an unconventional approach to ending the Ukraine conflict. He's sending high-profile, unofficial diplomats like Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff to Moscow for direct talks with Vladimir Putin. Talk about a bold move. Their efforts are raising eyebrows because of their informal style and close ties with Moscow, which might just change the game or stir up more questions. Next, let's celebrate Hong Kong's vibrant culture. To mark Bruce Lee's 85th birthday, the city is rolling out a series of exciting events, from rare memorabilia exhibitions to a new monument along the Bruce Lee Way Trail. It's a fantastic way to honor his legacy and boost Hong Kong's pop culture scene, even though they still don't have a dedicated Bruce Lee museum. It's all about keeping his legendary spirit alive for generations to come. And finally, in the world of classic cars, a relic from James Bond's adventures has been given a second life. A rusty 1960s Aston Martin DB5, once left to decay, has been restored with a hefty £400,000 investment. Now valued at a cool £1 million, this iconic vehicle is ready to make dreams come true as the owner, John Williams, takes it for a spin after over 45 years. Truly a story of restoration, nostalgia, and Hollywood glamour. Please continue to watch for the full details. CNN reports on President Donald Trump's unconventional diplomatic efforts to broker peace in Ukraine, highlighting his decision to send his former business associate Steve Witkoff and his son-in-law Jared Kushner on a mission to Moscow. These two figures, neither confirmed by the Senate, are tasked with engaging directly with Vladimir Putin in a bid to end the conflict. Their success in mediating ceasefires in Gaza has bolstered their roles, with Witkoff's personal diplomacy and close ties to Russia raising concerns among allies about the transparency and professionalism of such informal negotiations. Kushner's involvement, despite lacking an official government position, underscores Trump's reliance on trusted confidants to navigate complex international issues, reflecting a broader tendency to bypass traditional diplomatic channels. The story also details the delicate and sometimes controversial nature of these negotiations, including a secret meeting between Witkoff and sanctioned Russian businessman Kirill Dmitriev, which produced a draft peace plan criticized as capitulation by European officials, emphasizing the high stakes and unpredictable dynamics at play. SCMP Opinion celebrates the 85th anniversary of Bruce Lee, emphasizing his enduring legacy as a cultural icon who revolutionized perceptions of Chinese martial arts and Asian representation in Hollywood. The article recounts Lee's life, from his birth in San Francisco to his rise to international stardom in Hong Kong, where his films in the early 1970s captivated audiences worldwide. Despite his untimely death at just 32, Lee's influence persists, inspiring generations and symbolizing anti-colonial resistance. The peace advocates for Hong Kong to deepen its recognition of Lee's contributions by establishing a dedicated museum and expanding memorials, such as the Bruce Lee Way. These efforts, the author argues, would not only honor Lee's legacy but also bolster the city's cultural identity and appeal as a hub of pop culture, ensuring that his story continues to inspire future generations. BBC tells the story of a rare 1960s Aston Martin DB5, famously associated with James Bond, which was neglected and left to rust on a driveway for decades before being meticulously restored to its former glory. Originally bought by John Williams in 1973 for less than £1,000, the car sat exposed to the elements, becoming a playground for local children and a symbol of lost potential. After a painstaking 3-year restoration costing over £400,000, the vehicle is now valued at a staggering £1 million. The process involved removing a mouse nest, replacing thousands of parts, and restoring its iconic features, including the original paintwork. Williams, who had long dreamed of owning a Bond car, decided to preserve it rather than cash in on the offers he received, describing the restoration as a fulfillment of a lifelong ambition. The story captures the magic and nostalgia surrounding the car, emphasizing its cultural significance and the dedication required to restore such an automotive icon to its peak condition, culminating in a triumphant return to the road and the realization of a dream. The New York Times reports that over 60 local leaders in Israel are urging Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to halt the advancement of a controversial Haredi draft bill, emphasizing the importance of social cohesion and shared responsibility within Israeli society. These municipal officials, including mayors from major cities like Tel Aviv and Haifa, warn that the proposed legislation risks deepening societal divides and eroding public trust. They argue that the bill's current form, which exempts many ultra-Orthodox Jews from military service, creates inequality and undermines the collective effort needed for national defense, especially as the IDF faces manpower shortages amid ongoing conflicts. The leaders contend that the bill, if passed, would not only threaten societal unity but also diminish the willingness of diverse communities to contribute to the country's security. Meanwhile, the BBC details the controversy surrounding Dublin's Herzog Park, named after Israel's former president Chaim Herzog. Originally named in 1995, the park became the focus of a proposed renaming initiative, which was ultimately withdrawn due to legal and procedural errors. Irish political figures, including Taoiseach Michael Martin and Taoiseach Simon Harris, condemned the move, describing it as divisive and offensive. The Irish Council's chief executive, Richard Shakespeare, admitted to administrative oversights that invalidated the proposal, emphasizing that the process lacked proper legal grounding. The incident sparked widespread criticism, with concerns about anti-Semitism and the importance of respecting historical contributions from the Irish Jewish community, which had previously faced vandalism and discrimination. The BBC also reports on President Donald Trump's recent health update, with his White House physician releasing MRI results that affirm his excellent overall health. The preventative scans, conducted during a routine physical, showed no abnormalities in Trump's heart or abdomen, and the doctor highlighted that his cardiovascular system was in good condition for someone of his age. Despite questions about the purpose of the MRI, which was not previously disclosed, Trump downplayed concerns about his health, joking that the scan did not include his brain. The release of these health details comes amid ongoing political debates and scrutiny over Trump's physical stamina, especially as he prepares for potential future campaigns. The doctor's memo aims to reassure the public and critics alike that Trump remains in good health, although recent sightings of swelling and bruising have raised some questions about his overall well-being. The Jerusalem Post reports that Israel's Knesset has established a special committee to expedite the passage of a highly controversial communications reform bill proposed by Minister Shlomo Karhi. This move comes amid intense debate over the bill's scope, which seeks sweeping changes across Israel's broadcasting landscape, including regulating audiovisual content uniformly across platforms. Critics argue that bypassing the traditional committee process, specifically the Economic Affairs Committee led by MK David Bitton, threatens the transparency and integrity of legislative procedures. The bill's supporters, including Karhi, emphasize the urgency of passing the reform within the current session, citing the bill's complexity and the need for swift action. Opponents, such as the Attorney General and the Union of Journalists, warn that the reform could undermine press freedom and democratic principles, raising concerns about legal violations and the potential erosion of media independence. The Independent details Fox News host Brian Kilmeade's sharp criticism of Steve Witkoff, a U.S. special envoy involved in Ukraine-Russia peace negotiations. Kilmeade condemned Witkoff's recent actions, which allegedly included coaching a senior Russian official on how to praise Donald Trump during Ukraine-Russia talks. Kilmeade expressed concern over Witkoff's apparent favoritism towards Russia, criticizing his advice to Putin on how to handle Trump and suggesting that Witkoff's close ties to Russia could jeopardize U.S. diplomatic efforts. The controversy intensified after leaked transcripts revealed Witkoff's recommendations to Putin, including urging him to call Trump before Zelensky's visit to the White House, which appeared to influence the course of U.S.-Russia relations. Kilmeade's comments highlight the tension within American political discourse regarding foreign influence and the conduct of diplomatic officials amid ongoing conflicts in Ukraine and the broader geopolitical arena. Reuters reports a lawsuit filed by a former immigration judge, Tanya Niemer, alleging wrongful termination by the Trump-era Department of Justice. Niemer claims her firing was rooted in discrimination based on her gender, Lebanese dual citizenship, and political background as a Democrat, asserting that the administration wrongly believed it could dismiss federal employees at will under the guise of constitutional authority. Her lawsuit challenges the Justice Department's stance that immigration judges lack protections under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, arguing that such dismissals violate her rights and the law. The case underscores concerns over the politicization of immigration courts, especially given that over 100 judges have been removed since Trump's return to office, severely impacting the judiciary's capacity to handle increasing immigration cases. Niemer's legal challenge aims to restore her employment and scrutinize the administration's broader practices of removing judges based on political or personal criteria. BBC reports that a South African radio presenter, non-Khaliliko Patricia Manchala, has appeared in court charged with facilitating the recruitment of men to join the Russian military, violating laws that prohibit South Africans from enlisting in foreign armies without official permission. Manchala, known for her role on SABC's SAFM radio show, was arrested along with 4 men at Johannesburg's International Airport while attempting to travel to Russia via the UAE, allegedly trying to join Russian forces fighting in Ukraine. The arrest follows South Africa's disclosure that 17 citizens had been lured to fight as mercenaries in Ukraine, with some of those involved linked to the family of former President Jacob Zuma. The case has garnered attention amid ongoing diplomatic efforts to repatriate these individuals, highlighting the high unemployment rate among South African youth and the exploitation by foreign military entities. Meanwhile, Zuma Sembudla, the daughter of Zuma, resigned from parliament after being accused of tricking relatives and others into fighting for Russia, claiming she believed they were going for lawful training. The broader context includes reports of other African nationals being recruited or trafficked for similar purposes, with Ukraine and other countries facing criticism for their roles in recruiting foreign fighters. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.